I went ahead and started the stream. So that'll be going as we go. And then, so first thing you need to know about is you see on the bottom left where it says live share.
Also see on Twitch.
Do you see the live share on the bottom left of the VS Code?
Open it. Yeah.
Yes. And you see how it has participants?
I see one participant. It's your name.
So yes, so you can click on that whenever you need to, and when you click on that, the circles should become solid, and what that means is you're gonna follow me. So wherever I go in the document, you're gonna automatically follow me.
I see it's yellow.
Perfect. So you see how I just switched screens and now we're on index?
Yes.
And then so as I navigate, you're gonna kind of follow along with me to be able to do that. And so I can do the same thing with you. So you can navigate and that will change. So that's what we're going to use to kind of like look through code. The next thing is you should be able to access the website. So let me share my local host with you. All right, so try going to localhost 3000 in your browser.
It's already open in my browser, my local host.
Oh, you know
But now
what?
open 52142. I see your screen.
Okay, do you see Code Ponder?
Yeah, I see your component. It's opened in the 52142
Perfect.
for me.
And you see like all the random things that I've created on the homepage?
Yes, I see QQQ and testing, please work,
Yeah.
and I see all this. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So then the last thing
Because
is
I was open in 3000, I closed it.
okay, you can probably keep it open. The last thing that I need to share with you is my terminal, which it looks like it's shared. Can you see if you open the VS Code terminal, can you see stuff?
Open. I see it. I see now it's in the bottom.
And you just see I did an ls.
Quick. I see it now. You open now on master and web on master.
All
Yes,
right, perfect.
clear.
Okay, so I guess let's start by going over what you've changed. So let me follow your thing. So do you want to just go over what you changed and what you added?
We can start with the post page.
Okay. And I currently am following your cursor, so if you go and navigate there, I can follow you as you do it.
Pages. You open in the UI. I close the UI. So I created the context. Post. Ready to post the context, and I post to the page the language, the owner, the path, the position ID. At the post ID, this variable doesn't change it as long as you stay in one file.
So so the context is going to store the language that's associated with the current file that's open.
This for variable and is for one file. Each time you open another file, this is changed.
Okay,
So
got
this
it.
is
So
in
this
the
is per
render.
file in a post.
So this is in the render of the post.
But okay, so the post can have okay, I get it. Yep. So this is the state for the post that we're on. Okay, I follow. And so you have the
I use it,
language, the owner, the path, the post ID. Okay, so you chose to store that in context. Okay, cool.
use it for 2 pages. Uh,
Hey, Iris.
for the context variable, I use it when you call the blob. So the blob open the code file.
Perfect.
So I added the provider, and it's also in the bottom the same provider
For the question
for
section.
the
Okay, cool.
questions. Now I mainly work on the code file.
Okay.
If we switch to the code file, I think we are currently not in the optimized solution, because if you single code file, it's static. You know, all the content, it doesn't change at all. Only if the user add questions or open to view the past questions. So we can do much faster. If you remember, I wrote you about if you have a large file like the of the large file, it doesn't open at all. It takes 20 seconds to open.
Yep. So do you
But
think we should
GitHub,
lazy load the file then? Or at least lazy load like the Prism styling of it and only do
at
it
the
in
moment, I
chunks?
didn't handle the large file, but we can do what GitHub does, and it doesn't load the code at all. And if the user click on the file, they open it
In the
without
raw mode.
highlighting in raw mode. I think we can do better. We
Okay,
can
Nat.
just load in that's when, let's say, 200 line at a time. If the user wants to scroll down, then we lazy load the rest. But I leave it in the future. For now, let's handle
Okay, sounds good.
the common case. So the common case, if we scroll down, the code file. Now, because how you handle the query from the Apollo, all the query from Apollo are component from class components. So we cannot use the hooks on them, or we can use, but it's not so very better.
Yeah, I'm fine using a hook, or if not using a hook, I'm fine either way.
So because I prefer, you see, if we can load the file first, load the code first, and afterwards go for the query for the questions, because in the first place we don't need it. If
Yep.
we decide to put all the questions closed in the file, but this is not the bottleneck, so it's not so important. So I created this custom hook to load the highlight code.
Okay.
Just go to the other page if you want to follow it. Want me to follow it? The load the language page.
Sure.
So the first, when this component start, this is function component start, it called this custom hook with the language and the code. This is the raw code, text code come from GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the utils and that code. Here it gets all the
Okay, yep, I remember making this. Yep. And so what does prism.util.encode do?
prism, use the language, the object and the language to highlight each language. Now, each file, if you remember, need multiple files. So you created this
Yep,
giant
the
map.
dependencies of the languages.
So first, when we ask the code in the language, we first see if we already loaded this file before. If we did, we
Oh,
can.
that's nice. Okay, so once we load a language, it's going to be in prism.languages.
Yes, this is
Okay,
what
that's
how
nice.
our previous uses.
Okay, let me
So
just add a comment about that. That's good. Okay, so check if the language has already been loaded. Okay.
now, if it doesn't, so then it go to this low language
Yep,
that you
which I
want.
remember we
This
kind
is
of
the flow
recursively
file.
load all the dependencies for the language.
Now, I added these two lines. I copy it from the previous. This is how they do it in their own code. Each time they try to load a new component, a new language, they clear the language. I don't know why they do it, but this is how they do it. You can look in this file.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we do it
Wait,
this thing, so
sorry,
this
can you go back over what
this is the problem.
line 78 does?
Once we have this all the language, we just use the code from the prism. This is how they do it.
Wait, so what? Wait, sorry, can you go back to 78? What does this thing up here do?
What I said, the prisms JS component. This is how they do it in this file. I
Okay.
just copy these two lines. I don't know if it's required or if it's optimized, but you can check it. This is how they clear the requires cache and also delete the current language because this is dependency language. So maybe they clear everything once they have new language.
Okay, let me just, so when we load the language, they attempt to load the language, then they delete it from there, then they import it. I see. So I guess they delete it just in case it's already been loaded before, maybe?
And I think I make a new fix. You see that we load them in. I
Uh-huh.
think we need to also here this no
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
fix it in the other branch. So I don't know if we need to do it, but if you can check it later in this code, the prism code,
Okay, we'll
and
just leave it
decide.
as a question, and like it's good to know about it in case something weird happens. We can come back to it.
Because this is not new. This is in the last more than 10 days ago. It's already in the code. So if it's working the same day, so I think it's okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so
Once
what
we
is,
have the language,
yeah, go ahead.
we are here, and then we use the code from Prism. This is how they do it. First, they tokenize everything, then they check the encoded, and then the stringify.
Okay.
Get everything as string. Maybe later I can catch it before, but it's a little bit hacky. So what we do later is just
So
hit
now
it
what
again.
get highlighted code returns is a string of
And
HTML.
it's one string of HTML, yes. Then we get, if we get back to the file, code file, Since this is async code, in async code we cannot use async await in hooks. That's why I use with me here,
Yes.
because we cannot use async await in use effect. I use the then.
Then's fine, but you could also come up here and you can say async right here if you wanted to.
No, I tried. I got warning from the. I see warning later. You cannot do
Oh,
it.
you know what? Yes, I remember that. So what you need to do, I think you may be right about not putting async there on the hook, but also you need to return down here just a blank function. Because
I
when you
don't
use
need to
use
return.
effect,
No,
you
no.
need to also
You don't
return.
need to return anything. The return is just for the cleanup. You don't need it. I I use it, and then
Don't we need a cleanup?
the
Don't we need a cleanup function at the end though to be returned like that?
maybe I don't know what the cleaner do. It doesn't do anything.
I just remember getting a warning, but yeah, it doesn't do anything. You're right. Okay, yeah, Pixel said in chat it returns a promise when we add async, and I don't think we can return a promise.
I can put. You see in the use states. I have the use state here
Hmm.
of the loading, and in the use state, my highlight code, the value it's pending true in the beginning. It's
Yeah.
pending true, and the resolve it's blank. And after I finish the solved this promise, I fill the value with the pending false and resolve token,
So
and
do
then
we
I can
need
use
my
it.
has loaded language anymore then? Did I add has loaded language? Oh yeah, I added that. I can't remember. Did you add that or did I add that?
Done?
Do we need this has loaded language?
You added before. I kept it in the in the first time you start working with
Prism, yeah. I had added
the
that.
prism. You added, so I kept it. You can. I think you can remove it because I don't think we run it multiple times. If we put the use state in blank array, so it's run only one time.
Yeah, and I also think since you added it to the highlighted code, since you added it checks whether the dependency has already been loaded anyway. So I think you're right. Let's go ahead and just we can get rid of that.
So once this from the use highlight hook, I read this value. This value is object that they have pending and resolve, and then I use it here. Inside the find code review component,
Mm-hmm.
it's already running, and it's also I think component. So it's waiting for the before it continue. Only when the data is ready and the pending it's false.
Yep.
Otherwise it's null.
Okay, so we're waiting for the code to get the code from the to the server, and we're also waiting for the code to get highlighted.
Yes,
Okay.
everything. Because
Hey,
I
Death
didn't
Gamer.
want to know to put the code, the raw code, and then to paint again. I don't think it's so important, but we can change it if we would like to. It's not a problem.
I'm cool with that for now.
Oh, and also, if we change the, if we, when, if you're going to change this one, the find code review to function, then we can first load the code and then ask for the question. little bit faster.
Yeah, what we can do is that could be a pretty easy change. Do you want to do that right now?
Let's let's finish review what I did, and then we start to change it.
Okay, that sounds good.
So once we have the code, we have the data of the questions, and we have the code. Then we call the code card. This code card, it's wrap around. It's in UI. Just wrap the styles of the koi theme,
Yep.
some other custom CSS around pre and code tags.
So why did you have to add the custom CSS? Is this to, yeah.
I I first import the theme, and then in the same component, I just do all the other things that we change, because all the other code here, all the other style, I hook it on the pre instead of hook it on each child separately. In other places, this is central one place, all the code, all the CSS styles for the page, for the code.
Okay, so you're putting all the CSS that's related to the little box that opens up for the question and stuff too?
No, this is other places. This is
Okay.
only for the code itself.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is just for like
Also, well,
applying the theme.
let's I can walk through. First, I change a few things that Prism do. I override the border. If you remember, they have a thick left border. I remove it,
Okay, so
and
you're just
also
kind
some
of just
other things.
making the theme a little bit different then.
This is the style for the highlight of the selected line. It's over here. Some padding. Also, this is the style for the line number. Other
Okay, this
stuff.
is cool. I like that you did this though, because this allows us, we can easily edit any of this stuff now if we want to go and change any of it.
I put another thing, and that the other code, the other places that I put CSS is in the specific code that may run and may be placed in other pages.
Yeah.
We look at it later. So this is the wrapper of the pre and the code, and it gets the language and the properties from the code file. Now, this whole component run only one time for each page, for each file.
Okay.
It doesn't change at all. All the changes I do in the highlight in the individual line. So for each card, we have multiple lines. Each line we render separately. This is the render line component.
Sounds good.
Over all the line, and for each line we passed the questions, one question relevant to this line. I call it the comment because it's a combination of the on the question and the reply, and we get it in the other function here. Function, it's taking all the questions and all the replies and put it in one array.
Okay.
If we go to the code line, render line, the function component to render line.
Okay, nice. So you used memoization on it.
So
And now,
in this,
are any of the props that we pass in though going to change the reference?
oh,
Li-
this is
line number, and comments.
what I am going to do. If the user doesn't add a new comment on this line, this is static.
Yep.
Only when the user edit, add a reply or add a new question on a line that doesn't have the question before, we render only the one line. We render only one line, only the line that changed. Not, let's say, if you have a file with 1,000 lines, when the user click on the line to add question or to add comment, it's render again only this line.
Yes, but to get that to work, I just want to make sure that our comment is referencing the same object, because memoization doesn't work unless it's the same reference. Because
According to my check, when I did change
okay,
and
so it
add
doesn't
comment,
re-render it. Okay.
I checked that the other line doesn't render,
Okay,
and
perfect.
it's
It
worked.
looks like you do it correctly in the get comments for file or that function, so it looks like it does.
So in this, what we render here, we we're going to render.
Actually, okay, I want to double check it because I think I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna cause a re-render or not, but we can do that in a second. Okay, so there you're actually setting the line HTML. Okay.
This is the line. This is what we got from Prism.
Yep, and we have to do dangerously set inner HTML because it's a string.
Yes, if you remember before, we used another package
Yep.
that put it, but if every line have approximately 10 to 20 sub component, if we're going to render everything with React, it was very slowly.
Yeah.
And we don't have any, I don't think we have any risks here because we get a text of code and Prism wrap it with span. So I don't see any risk here.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I add here, it's the on click here and not on directly. If you remember, you asked me why I don't put the on click on the button.
Yeah.
This is why the button is a string, because I put it here and I use it. The string go to here to the dangerously in HTML.
Yep.
When we use this one, we cannot have child to this component. I cannot have child to this span. So the button cannot be in the as a child.
I see. So you had to add it in a different way.
This is why I had open editor here, and then I have to check if it's come for the button. That here from two places
Yeah.
for the plus button or for the reply.
Now, one of those conditions, and we can go over this in a second. That's why I removed some of it. It's one of those conditions was causing it to act weird. But I understand why the conditions need to be there now.
Okay, we get that. So in this render line, we have first the line. Then we have two more components. One component to see the current question and reply already been before, and we do it only if we have one. And this component show the circle with the number of lines, also show all the discussion. The other one, it's to add a new question. You want to review these two components?
Sure.
So let's start with the review code discussion. Okay. I call this code discussion view. I hope that this is the correct term. Discussion is the combination of one question and many replies.
Yeah, I think that's a good term for it.
I split this component into two. First, it's the header that button, the badge with the number. We can go to the site if you remember. The site you will see every line with a question, you see a circle with a number of replies.
Yeah.
But this is button. Then when the user click this button to open discussion, the discussion open. This is the hook. It's here.
Yep.
It's show discussion, and then it's rendered the other component. All discussion, I already prepared this to be in the separate, if the user wants to be in a separate page to open discussion. We don't have it at the moment, but in the future, if you can have an option to click directly on the question of the main page to go to the separate page, not to the code page.
Yeah.
This component show all the comments. Each comment have its own card.
Okay.
Another component. This component, I use the same component for the questions. We have also in the UI. So the comment card comes from here.
Yep. And it's just a UI. Got it.
We have it. If the comment card, it's base comment card up here. If it's questions, it's a little bit different. And we have the avatar and the date and everything else. The discussion. Now, the add comments. We have also a few sub component here because we can here I use the same component to add reply or to add questions.
Yep.
Because we have the same both on the.
Yep, because they're just slightly different.
This is it's redirect also to the two other components, create question reply and the create questions. It's almost the same, but each one uses different query.
Yep.
The question use the question query and the reply use the reply query. This is the query that's your code.
Yep.
And all I do is put here all the editor.
Yeah.
By the way, I start working on the Markdown to change the editor to use Markdown.
Nice. What are you using to? Is there like a library that handles the Markdown?
It's a work in progress. I'll send it to you when I finish because there are a few issues. Because Markdown, when you use it for input box, it's you need to put on the security that
Yep.
you
So
don't
they don't get injection.
working on it. But now, for now, this is just a plain text area with other, and this is the component that render the question, the reply, with all its styles attached to it. I use simple function component with hooks, and also we are using debounce component.
Yep.
So this component we use for the reply and for the question. For reply, we don't have title, we don't have the line number, and so on. Now,
So why are you using refs?
use rough for this for the title. I need the rough because I want to set the focus here. So I use rough. I can use other, I can use the query selector, but I think
No,
we can use rough.
ref is good to do if you want to focus it.
If we have, we only focus on the page of the code, because in the post page, I don't focus the form. Here, question, I focus the title, and on the reply, I focus the text area.
Yep.
I use the input box. We don't see the title. The text area, I only use the ref if it's applied. Oh, the title, by the way, the title, you don't have it on the backend for now.
That's what I was gonna say is,
You want to edit, you need to edit.
well, I don't know if we need a title for a question or not.
The reason I follow the lead of GitHub, each discussion, they have a title. And I think it's helpful because later, if you have many topics or discussion, it's helpful to search by title.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because usually question, it's not the one sentence, it's maybe more.
That's true. It may be involved,
complicated.
especially because it is kind of like a GitHub style question.
So if you're going to edit, you need to edit here to the code review and also as a variable here,
Yeah.
and to the backend.
Okay, that's easy enough to do.
And also, if you see, if I switch to the site, you will see it.
So I'm not sure if I can see. I don't think we can both see the site at the same time.
Let's try to just navigate to the same place.
Okay. Real
Well,
quick though, I broke mine's broken. I'm sending an internal. You can see my terminal, right?
yeah.
It's sending this. It's getting invalid syntax for type UUID. So, this is when I try to load localhost.
Oh, in the past few days, every time I change when I all the changes you make to the packages and I try to reload the site, sometimes it broke. I need to remove all the node module every time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's sending. I did that already, because yeah, I have been having to do that too. I I need a console log, so like it's sending internal as the like it's just not sending the right UUID. So I want to just log real quick why it's passing that in. So this is on the post page when it's trying to fetch a post. So that's going to be in probably the find response. Find code review post probably. Nope. What is this? What did I call this? Get code review post by ID is what's breaking. Okay. So let's go to the website. Where are we calling that now? Probably in the post. All right, right here, right here. Oh, it looks like it's sending the right UUID on the client side.
Didn't change anything on the backend, so I don't think.
I'm just gonna log it in the back end real quick. Nope, that's the right ID. We're saying find one. Okay, so that's the error that I'm getting. All right, here we go. So the ID is internal for some reason. Why is the ID getting passed as internal? Okay, so it's some problem with the front end, it looks like. So on the front end, somewhere we are calling or we're passing in a bad ID for some reason.
ID is generated automatically. No?
It's not the problem is not the generated one. Like it's not that it's being generated incorrectly, it's that we're passing the wrong one in. Hey Plateris. Is this the only place that I'm calling it? Flatesy, can I suggest how to organize protected routes with Apollo Express React using server-side rendering? What do you mean by organize routes? Are you talking about like a file structure? Yes, we're reviewing CodePonder right now. Okay, here's the response. No, we're getting data back. So this is the wrong one that's not working. All right, so this one is working. So somewhere else where we're calling this is breaking. I wonder if this is just happening because I'm not authenticated. That could be it. Let me just sign into GitHub. That'd be silly. Hi, C sharp. Nope, this is TypeScript. So kind of close actually. TypeScript is kind of close to C sharp. Okay, it's working now. That was silly. It was just not being logged in.
You need some protection, some warning to the user that it's not logged in before it's for an hour.
That's a great point. I shouldn't even have to know that I'm not logged in. It should just tell me, hey, you should log in. Let me add that as a to-do.
Need to directly to jump to the login page.
Yep. I thought I created an authenticated route already, so I just need to double check that works. Yeah, TypeScript is basically JavaScript with types. Okay, so all right, so now I can navigate with you to a file and we can look through the stuff on the website.
Load the page.
All right, so I clicked on Hello World React QL. Okay, so I have the package.json file open in CodePonder right now. So I see pluses on the side of every single line.
This is error. I don't know why it's. We could fix it. I don't know why it's like this.
It used to be only on hover, right? Is that what it should be doing?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I did something wrong.
No worries.
Probably.
All right, so let me click on you. So that's going to be related to the hover out. I actually know it's not going to be related to that. It's going to be related to how we're rendering the plus sign, right?
That's nine. If we go to the code file, to the function set is a hover.
So this is returning true basically for every single one.
I didn't change this line, but maybe the CSS is broken. No, it's always when you your site now.
Yeah, I see. So you tried to add appearance is none, right? Nope, that's the wrong thing. It's not the right class that I added it to.
Navigate your site from
Are you able to see the site on yours?
only the first page. I cannot doesn't go into the.
It breaks when you try to navigate. Are you logged in too? You click on the login with GitHub. Flatesy, I'm gonna be going over how to do like protected routes like that with server side rendering soon. The Next.js series that I started today is gonna be going over that, and so I'll be covering how to do that in there. Can you have the same list of posts you're working on different database instances? So we're actually working on the same database instance because with live share, I'm able to share both my localhost server and my localhost website, so he can access both. So he's able to see all the stuff that I have in my database.
Which file did you check? The file
I'm
that.
currently in Hello World React QL.
Which file?
The package.json one.
Okay, I think it's that's the problem. I work on Firefox. On Firefox, I don't see the plus on every page, on every line. So this is only, know,
Yep, I think it's the
problem with
CSS that's related to the browsers. I think I know what it is too. It looks like you set
what
up
what
appearance, I'm guessing.
what is your browser? What browser you are using?
I'm using Chrome.
Let me check in it. I open it in Chrome also.
Okay.
Replicate also here. You need to add the progress bar to all this waiting.
Yeah. I think with Next.js you can add something. It's also very slow
No,
because of the development.
I don't see the plus on every line. Also on Chrome.
Really?
Yes, I own Windows. You on Mac?
Yeah, I don't think it should cause a
This
difference.
is the Mac. No, this is the issue with Mac, not because the problem. You need to check what the difference between Windows and Mac.
So what CSS are you using to hide the plus? Let's start there.
Okay, okay. Let me try. This is the CSS. You see, I have two classes:
Okay.
button open and token button. You can search. I think it's in the UI in the.
Oh, maybe I just haven't built the UI. Let me just build that real quick and make sure that's built.
Build it all the time. It's on my background.
Yep, I just added the watch command, so now it should do the same. Okay,
I
yep,
do it from
that was what was causing the problem. My bad.
use the commander, outside of VS Code to open all this.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing is, all right, so if I click on the plus, okay.
This is this is I borrowed the GitHub style. They have
Yeah.
the same thing. They have it highlight on each line, and you can click when you do questions.
So did you have you noticed that when like you click on the plus, if you look below it, the lines are slightly off by a few pixels?
It before it's open or just when I hover it.
Uh, I click on the plus to open up the question,
Let's see it. I watch you now.
and then you see it's a few pixels off here.
The bottom.
Yeah. And so now every line is too close to the top. Like there's this little gray sliver right here.
You see, I'm missing the bottom border over here. Check the line height before and after you open it. Should be the same.
Yeah, I think it's the it needs to be like basically pushed down a few pixels for some reason.
Let's. We're going to review the form.
Okay, do you want to skip the little sliver for now?
I want to, if you remember, we have here on the form, we have the title, it's simple. We have the line number. The line number for the end line number is fixed to the line number that you click on.
Yep.
So the 4 on the right, it's fixed. I think I'm going to change the style to show that it's not an input, the right number.
Yep, I think that's a good idea because that was one question I had.
I think we need to change the wording, something to explain to the user that you need to select the left field in order to fill the starting line number.
Yeah.
But now I only when you click on the left field, you see the left field. If you click on the left 4, you'll see the tooltip.
All right, Nat, I just increased the volume, so let me know if that's better. The other thing is, so okay, so is this how you see it working is you click on the line number input box, and then after that I can select whatever line I want above. I click on that, and that's how you select the line number.
Outline number. Of course, you can type the number, but in this case, because you started with line 4, the
Yeah.
valid number is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. You cannot put any other number.
So one word,
Bigger number is
one thing I'm like worried about with it is like, oh, interesting. So if I click there, then I change it to 1.
when you click on the line. If you click on the line, then it's enter the number. Maybe it's too complicated. I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say is I think it may be too complex. Also, here's one. Try this. I was able to get it so that the highlighting of lines does not work. So what I did is I clicked on the line number, the input box. I clicked on the first one. After that, I went back to the input box. I said like 4, for example, and it's still highlighted. Oops.
Or if you, I see. So I see what you mean. You change it to 4 and it didn't change. Okay.
And I mean, so like the reason why it's going to be hard to match that up is because I'm guessing it's done with refs.
Oh, actually the highlight I do it with plain DOM event.
Okay. Because what I'm thinking is I want to make this, I don't want to make it too complex at first that we're going to run into problems and spend a ton of time trying to get this to match this up. So I don't know if you think it's going to be easy to like fill in the gaps of like it being, it's a little wonky right now, or if we should just simplify how it works.
So we can just put wording, to the user, just enter manually the line number without hovering and everything else. And then after the user enter the number, we can highlight the line.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good start. The other thing is, okay, so are we gonna have the last line number fixed always
Yes, because this is the line.
that they clicked on?
Because now, if we're going to change it, I can push. If you put it another, I think if you want to another one, you can click another one. By the way, it's also on GitHub. You can open multiple question boxes at a time, not
Yep.
only one. So if the user wants another line, you can click escape or cancel here and click another one.
So what do you think about um actually this may not work. What I was thinking, what went through my head is like maybe we don't even have the user click between two line numbers and instead they just click on the line like how GitHub does it. And then we don't have to worry about like line ranges and stuff. You just add a comment to a single line, and then maybe in your question you're like you can point out if you're referencing more than one line. You know what I mean? Instead of selecting a chunk of text, we could just do it to where you do it on a single line.
We have the input box. We can mention to the user that if they want to hook a section to the question, they need to select the first line of the section. And the last one, it's already fixed.
Exactly. But what I'm thinking is, and I think like that may be good to have, but I'm thinking like we could make it even dead simple at first, and not even have a section of code that you highlight. Instead, we do it exactly how GitHub works, and you pick a single line, and that line is what you highlight, or is what you write the comment on. Because then the other thing we don't have to worry about right away is conflicting ranges. You know what I mean?
Okay. So each question is hooked to a line,
Yes, instead
and
of
then
hooked to
yeah,
a
if
section.
the user want to see like a fenced section of code, they need to click on another button to select a range.
Yes. I think that sounds good. And I think then, and I think at first we don't even worry about the range, and we just do, and that's something we could add in the future. Okay, Amoka asks, "Hey Ben, when fetching data in Apollo, I see some people use the query component and some using lifecycle methods to set the fetch data to the state. What's the best practice and the pros and cons for both?" I'd recommend using the query component. I have seen some people use, like you said, the state or storing it, for example, in Redux. If you don't like how Apollo like how the Apollo state management works, then maybe I think that makes sense, but it's going to be a lot more work to re-implement it. So I would recommend starting with the query component. Okay, but so yeah, so how does that sound to you then? So we'll just start with we'll remove this section where the user clicks line numbers for now, and they'll just enter a title and a question.
So the moment, and also we don't have an edit option. Once the question finish, you cannot edit it.
That's a good point. So I guess we should add an edit.
Also, I don't think GitHub, they only allow to edit unless you have a reply to the questions. So also complicated.
Yeah, let's not do it like that. Let's do it simple. So let's do, I mean, like Twitter doesn't let you edit your responses, but everyone hates that. It's pretty simple to add an edit, so we can just add an edit to the and like for example, I don't think on Reddit you can't update the title, I think. On, let's say on GitHub, can you update the title? Yep, you can update the title. So the only thing with allowing users to update the title and the question and that sort of thing is basically you lose information sometimes. What we could do is we could take Reddit's approach where you can't edit the title, but you can edit the question. But either way, I need to add the backend support to be able to edit questions.
I think it's better not to edit the question, only the title, and if the user want to add to
So
the
you like the
question,
inverse. You like only editing the question and not the title. Or sorry, only editing the title, not the question itself.
yeah. And if the user want to edit the question, he can add a reply to himself and reference to the questions.
That's true. So why should we let them edit the title then? Why don't we let them correct that in the question, for example, or like
So, as I said before, the title we can use it for search, and I also see that in Mozilla bug in Mozilla in Bugzilla they
yep.
also can edit the titles. Actually, to edit titles, not the questions itself.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Okay, so I'll add that then. So I'll add support to be able to update the title. So
Also to
add backend mutation to update title. Hey, thanks, Tall Pants. Okay, so this also that changed. So this will simplify what we need to do there. Let me ask a question real quick. Save. Cool, and then where's the reply? That's the reply.
if you click on the reply,
It's okay, so the reply is being a little janky for me. Let me refresh and try it again. It didn't open the first time I clicked on it. Let me try that again.
open.
It worked perfectly the second time. Let's try it a third time. All right, did not work the third time. So what are you using to, let's look at how you're opening the reply.
It's open. It's open for you.
I don't see it. It worked the second time, but not the third time.
Let me see in my.
Like if you watch the stream for a second, I'm just gonna spam on the reply and nothing is working for it right now.
Check it in. For me, it's open.
It works for me sometimes.
In Chrome, the same. It's also doesn't open in Chrome. It's open in Firefox. It doesn't open in Chrome. So you need to check the reason.
Okay, so let's go into that. So I guess that's, here's create question reply. That's the component which renders a text editor.
You go to the.
Okay, I'm following your cursor again. You can take me to where it is.
Okay, code line. The open editor. The click. Go to here. So if you can, we can add some console log here. Oh,
Well, you know what? Yeah, we can add a console log here and see what conditions not getting met. That sounds good. But also, we don't need this anymore, right?
no, we need it because we have
Is hovered.
we want the editor to open only from the button, for the plus button, not from the whole line. You remember that the open editor on click is listen to the whole
Oh,
line.
that's
This is
sorry. That's what I was getting confused by. So why does clicking the reply button call this?
because this is the same editor. The reply button and the question button open the same editor. We use the same component for the reply and for the questions.
Okay, I remember. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. I remember because we're using the same component now, and so you're opening in them in the same way. Okay. One thing that, okay, yeah, I guess we have to do it that way for now.
or you
Though,
can
can we
try.
get rid of this condition?
Oh, because maybe later, if we are going to
If we get rid of the thing where we have multiple, uh,
arrange that,
if we have a question only attached to a single line of code, can we remove this?
because if you already open if the editor open on line 4 and you click in again on the plus on line 4, you don't want it to open again twice in the same line. But I need to check it.
Okay, if I hit the plus there.
So for now, I guess we're going to remove all the highlight code, because if we don't have range, we don't have anything to do with highlighting in the line now.
Yeah, and I think that'll simplify it. Now, okay, so let me ask you this though. So I don't want to just like throw away that part that we created or that you added because we could want to use it in the future.
You can disable it without using it.
Okay, I think that's probably like the our best route of just disabling it for now.
It's open. Do you see anything in console?
Yeah. Let me try. So yeah, it worked for me the first time, so let me try it again. Okay. All right, so the second time I tried it, it was an empty array. Basically, it does not see the is hovered class name. It's not there. It on the second
But
click, it did work though.
the hover class, it's you see the hover, it's for the plus button, not for the reply button. The reply button doesn't check for the hover. You see here, for the reply button, we check only for the button,
Yeah.
not for the hover. The hover, it's a condition only for the open button, open edit button. Maybe in Chrome,
So it's almost like
something.
it thinks. So it's almost like the on click on that button is not being triggered. Okay, where are you adding? Where are you adding?
You see,
Where are you adding the reply button itself? Where are
oh,
you
from
rendering that SVG button? Or sorry, the button that has the SVG inside of it. Where's that getting rendered?
I passed the function to the discussion,
Okay, let's go into that.
and from here it's also passed down.
Oh, perfect. I also wanted to do this real quick. Remind me after we're done with this to come to line 96 on this file.
Now it's going down to discussion.
Okay. Let's go into
Another
discussion.
layer down, and from the discussion, it's going down
All right.
the comment card.
All right, let's click on comment card.
But you cannot click because it's in the UI. If you click here, it's open the
The
dist.
dist. Okay, yeah. Let's
So it's annoying me every time. So you need to go here.
okay, then it's in base comment card. Okay. Hey, moon time,
It's in the
soon time.
basement.
All right, so it's the my button. Okay, I see it. I see it. I see it. It's down here. Okay, so I don't think it should call on open editor, right? I think, or I don't even think you need to check. See, so okay, so you're calling it here, right? And that is just, I think you should pass in a different thing. And what it does is it just opens the editor. Because what is the point of, you don't need to check the class list. You can just like this button acts differently than the plus button. You have to check the class list for the plus button, but you don't have to do it for this button. You know what I mean?
So what you are suggesting to make another function only for the reply button.
Yes, I think we want to split that up because then we don't even have to rely on the checking of the class list.
Okay, no problem. Want to do it now?
Sure, let's add that. We can add that now. So that means just going back to code line, I guess. Isn't animating height supposed to be super janky? Tall pants, I have no idea. Did you run into any problems with jankiness when you were adding the animation? Onemen, did you have any problems with adding the animation?
Didn't see any problem.
It looks pretty smooth to me.
Reduce the time to 200 milliseconds.
Your approach to CSS is fiddling with stuff until it works. That's exactly what I do actually. Okay, so it just needs to do this, right? It just needs to do set show editor to true.
No, we need to see that it not doesn't open it.
Should we do, okay, so it's this show editor.
Let's. I think it's better if you write the code. You do it faster.
Okay, so this is going to be, we
Let's
want to
go.
pass
Let's
this
call it
onto the
on
code
reply.
discussion view, right?
Let's call it on open reply.
All right, so what you can do is you can click on me in the live share view, and then you can follow me as I'm doing it. Okay. So then I'm just going to remove this condition here because we don't even need to check the button reply.
Also this one. Okay. Now you can do the new function.
Yep, so I passed in on open reply right here. So we're checking to make sure the editor is not already open, and then we open it. Now, I don't know if you memoized this. No, you didn't. So we're fine passing in a lambda in like that.
It's better to
I mean, I don't think we need to worry about memoization right now. We can go back and do kind of like performance testing stuff at a later point. If like when we run into problems. Okay, so this condition we cleaned up a little bit. I just now need to add this interface.
replace open and editor with.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We're about to just drill this prop down a ton. Let me see, because it's in discussion, and discussion is in comment card, and then actually we don't drill it that much. We're only going to drill it like once. I was thinking for a second maybe we should use context here so we don't have to like do it a ton. But
Yeah,
we're not actually going to do it a ton.
And also each one you need different arguments. So It's already.
Why is discussion not rendering? Oh, they both use the same props. Okay, that's totally fine.
We can simplify it. You can only change the function in the code line.
Like this is what you're thinking?
Already go down, but
Actually, why don't we do this? We don't even have to touch this file, right?
the first file on the top. Only in this file, just
Yeah.
put
Okay.
this
Okay. I'm gonna just
line
I'm gonna
here, and that's
remove
all.
all changes that I've made to the discussion file because I don't think I need to change the discussion file. I'm only gonna pass it into so on code line. I'm just gonna pass it in here.
Yes, that's it.
And that shouldn't break the other places this is being used, right? I broke
Maybe
something.
TypeScript only if TypeScript because we didn't pass argument here.
Oh yeah, TypeScript will let us do that. It's fine. It'll narrow the scope. Okay, so when I go to the website now, it is broken for me. Oh, now it's good again. It was hot module reloading. Okay, so click on this. Okay, close it. All right, it's fine. All right, so let me do it. It looks like it's working for me. I'll do it. Click it a couple times to make sure. Nice. Okay, it looks like it's working well for me. Does it work for you? Also, where is the file that we were that I wanted to change something on line 78?
Discussion. It doesn't work in Chrome yet.
It doesn't work for you in Chrome? It worked for me in Chrome.
Doesn't work.
Try refreshing and trying again.
I think it's the same problem we have with the plus button before. Maybe the event doesn't trigger on the SVG. I don't know.
No, it should. And it is for me too.
Doesn't work. I check it later, quietly.
Okay.
I will find out the reason.
Okay, I'll push this code after we're done here. Um, and so you can get this because I think it should be working and it makes sense that it should work. Okay, there's one last thing that I want to do real quick and then we can kind of wrap this up is I want to change the little diamond. You know the diamond that is I don't know where it is in the code, but it's the little diamond that we're using to denote that there is a question.
On the circle,
Oh,
the
found
blue
it.
circle.
So in the discussion file, the discussion, there, well, bam. So you see this little badge icon? I want to do like this. I'm just going to inverse it so whether we're showing the discussion or not.
Oh, I'm using rotation on the CSS to flip it up.
Oh, you are using it? Because it was not flipping for me.
Yeah, maybe also it's a Chrome problem. Let's see. I flip it.
Okay, I see. I see.
Firefox.
You have rotate 0.5. I see it.
Oh, it's broken. It's broken. I need to fix it.
Do you
It
want to add it
used to
in the
work
JavaScript or keep it in the CSS?
in the CSS issue. I don't know why it's my other branch to work. Now it's stopped working. I will fix it.
Here, we can just add it in the JavaScript because it's super easy, and then you don't have to worry about browser-specific CSS.
Okay.
Do you remember how you got that arrow Unicode in the first place?
I copy it from someplace.
All right. I think it's...
And the number.
I think it's probably considered a triangle. Yeah. All right, so I want the other sided triangle. Oh, it doesn't like that Unicode.
Put it in quotes.
You're right. I was getting it confused because we with JSX. Okay, here we go. Nope, something else I have wrong. Oh, I just like chopped off the file for some reason. There we are. All right, now it's too big, but it does flip. Wow, this place only has it pointing up. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. Nope, two different styles.
You need to leave it. I can fix it later with the CSS. I need to check. You see,
I
it's
think I
in
found
the.
the same kind of arrow, and now it should be compatible. All right, I don't know. It still looks a little funky. Okay, if you want to handle OCSS, then I can't find two Unicode triangles that are exactly the same. I'll just leave one of them. I'll just leave what you had, because that triangle actually looked decent. I think I can undo. I'm not sure how to undo a single line, so. Okay, I think we'll end here. I have to get going, so thank you for walking me through the code. And thanks for coming to the stream today, guys. I'm going to end the stream here.